Alright, CAG T1. We can watch that in the meantime. It is 2-1 right now for Cyclops. Let me just punch in the score for Team Liquid BDS so I don't lose it. 1 for Liquid, 7 for this. Then we can subtract this to 2. Do Cyclops, and we can do Team 1. Cyclops are defending, and Team 1 are attacking. And they too are also playing Oregon. Oh, the actual footage from the camera was posted by Julio. Oh, really? I would love to see the comparison, actually.
He wants to rotate background, but he's going with a lot more caution. He's got a couple more windows left to pass here, and it's already been proved very dangerous. Gatarada towards the bottom of white.
Oh yeah, look at this. So this is what it looked like after, you know, from the camera point of view.
Suddenly, they've had to slow themselves down a little and start doing the heavy lifting of the work towards the showers. This is a big kind of linchpin of a lot of teams' holds here. It's got some rotations. You have to get this bit of control if you want to take and get the plant in where they're trying to dig it.
I'm excited for that. Alright. Alright, I jinxed Liquid the jersey, dude. I gotta take it off. I'm sorry.
Pressure would be coming on, and talking about the pressure, the shield just got removed. I believe that might have been by the Gone 6 that Naskin carries. Has tossed out one grenade just now as well.
My bad.
That is going to be allowing Team 1 to hopefully put some pressure down inside the showers, but they still have to be careful because they have rotations in. They have that hallway. They can
keep it on. It's T2 versus Liquid. Yeah, it's T2 versus Liquid, but not for like another like 10-20 minutes. So we'll be watching the Team 1 CAG game in the meantime.
It's a one-on-one trade.
CAG 1 round up already. They are looking extremely strong on the scoreboard of things. Also do note that Team 1's operator bans right now are multi-clash. It seems like every single team right now is banning the multi against Cyclops over and over. So it just goes to show exactly how strong and efficient multiplayer can be. Because now you got Thatcher and Maverick both open, which doesn't happen very often. What are those shots for with the drone? Or with the robot? It's for, Alright, lit smoke, by the way. Okay. They're for Media Day. So probably for playoffs. They're doing Media Day so that when teams they qualify, they can have a bunch of great content available to them. Probably got a bunch of interviews and stuff like that as well. Gone is now planting deeper in. Oh, look at this. He ran deep, then killed the Valkyrie, then ran back. He got glitch smoked again. It's so stupid, dude. You're getting You're getting smoked through the wall. Like, there's only really like 2 safe plants in this position, and one of them is where like Gonis is planting, and smoke throws a smoke canister inside of kitchen, and it goes through the non-destroyable wall and kills him twice. It's so dumb. Like, glitch smokes have to go. It's like multiple bomb sites are just based around it. It's like if you couldn't glitch smoke, you wouldn't win the defense unless you actually do something. That shotgun kill though, I like what the Gonis did. He ran deep, killed the Valkyrie, and ran back. But the glitch smoke just doesn't matter.
1 or 2 seconds left on that final canister.
It was, yeah. But also, it's like if
good smoke players unable to not smoke glitch. Why is nobody trying to, Pengu? I mean, it's allowed. Why wouldn't they glitch smoke? If it's not against the rules, then why would they not do it? You know, like, it makes sense. It's not punishable. Because the bug, it doesn't matter if it's a bug, it's allowed. All that matters is whether it's allowed or not, and it is allowed.
They do go for it late. They try and stick it and make sure that it's a one and done situation with a little bit of, you know, scrabbling afterwards, often in terms of this game. So that shield there gives.
What was the hardest team to play against during Penta D2 era? Liquid. Liquid always had our number. Like, we went to Brazil, and we were boot camping in Brazil for like a week, I think it was, and we scrimmed Liquid like every day. And we lost like every map. Like, we would beat Liquid maybe 1 in 5 maps in scrims. They would always beat us, and we never really learned much from playing them. Like, they just beat us.
Well, that
they were just so much better. So I think Liquid has always been the counter to G2 and Penta, which is why the game after this one that we're gonna be watching is G2 Liquid, and that will be quite a banger, I think.
How are they going to do that?
Well, E-Box under hot pressure here. 45 seconds as we set ourselves up for them, setting themselves up for this.
All chess be saying to the team, I have no idea. I don't know the exact issue of G2 right now because I'm not in the team anymore, but it looks kind of similar to the same problems we had back in 2020 Invite, before Fabian retired. Or stepped down, rather. He didn't retire. He went on to play with Vitality. Levi? Almost kills himself with a nade. Okay. I think it's just a matter of, like, mentality. If you look at G2, they're playing kind of, like, scared. Or desynced, uncoordinated, like, whichever. They don't look to be, they're not looking sharp, let's say. BDS is looking sharp. You know what I mean?
These early kills on their defense, which was really aggressive
Yeah.
outwards. Like Empire, they didn't basically not allow them to get into the building. Right here to play a bit more passive. They actually play super passive for what we know from Cyclops, but it works out.
They kind of, it looks like they need leadership, right? Like when Fabian left, it was me and oNe taking on the leadership, and when I left, as far as I know, it's supposed to be Kayak and oNe taking on leadership, but I also know that oNe has a few struggles with IGLing where, like he says this himself, where like talking while playing is difficult because like he's not native, like he's, you know, he's Finnish, so it impacts his own performance when he IGLs, which is very common. Like when Fabian IGL'd, he also played worse. When I IGL, I play worse. Like typically speaking, an IGL will bring a lot of value for the team, but independently he might play worse. Especially if you're speaking a second language to your native one, right? So it might just be that oNe is IGLing less and other players need to step up, but they aren't. I don't know. Like I really don't know what the issue is. But I don't think it's as simple as me leaving. Like I don't think me not being there is the issue. Obviously, me being gone feels like a little bit of a hole in some parts of like the setup. But I don't think that me leaving is the reason why they're having these problems. Unless you're LM. Yeah, LM is different. LM is the highest frack in IGL as far as I can tell. That's why you see, like, you know, me, Fabian, IGL, Canadian. Like, we're like not very great players necessarily, but we're great IGLs, so to speak. Obviously, we're all good to our own, by our own means. Like, we're not Shaiko or Kanto or Citizen, or, you know, we bring value elsewhere. Why Citizen doesn't IGL as a native speaker? Citizen is not like an IGL. Like he's not. That's not like his thing. Same reason why Shaiko doesn't IGL as a native French speaker. They like, just like with Kanto as well. Like they are individual performing players. Like they focus on the game, and if you let them focus on the game, that's how they're gonna do their best. Also, this mirror window is very interesting. From CAG.
Can't quite do it. He's worried.
Wait, he sees him. Oh, he didn't open it yet. Okay. He missed earlier. Ultimately, I think G2 needs either A, more time, or worst case, G2 might just need to change the core. Like, I rarely think that roster changes are the fix, but if G2 can't figure it out, it might just be better to start over. Like, you basically, in that case, you'd kick oNe and Kanto, and you'd probably keep Virtue and Citizen and Kayak, or maybe kick one of those three even, and then build a whole new roster. But the odds of that roster doing better than the current is also unlikely. You know, like it's, you might as well just work with what you have and use the experience. But I fear that the G2 players might have like a chip on their shoulders where even though they're a new roster, they're still riding like the G2 legacy, you know, like the undefeatable team that's like super great, like big pressure from fans, big pressure from the org. Like you're paid to win, not paid to play. You know what I mean? And no matter what you do, that will probably always follow you. Maybe unless you have no players remaining from the old roster, which Kanto is the last guy standing, you know? So I think just based off like an assumption, if you were to start fresh with complete new roster.
Well, 30
Or keep the
seconds, and
addition
now
that is
it's
new.
time. You can see that Team
Maybe
White
that
got
could help with the
more
mental.
first
I don't
push
know.
than what they tried to run earlier.
Why is Cyclops
Shoved
called
themselves
CAG?
up
There's not
wide
even a
onto the
G in
diffuser
it.
this time. They've obviously
Because
altered it.
it's
They may
Cyclops
have another
Gaming.
C4 Alligator, follows it
So
up
it's
and gets
CY Cyclops?
the
Oh,
trophy
it's
starts
CA,
to
I guess.
flood in. There's a
I don't
pickup
fucking know,
of
dude.
Anderton. They know
Oh,
that
isn't it
bloody
Cyclops
more
something
than
gaming?
they need
Athlete
that
gaming?
confrontation. 10
Athletic gaming?
seconds and another one found on Armory.
I think that the A is for the second middle word.
Suzuki left.
Yeah, Cyclops Athletic Gaming. Yeah. I had the same question when I was in fuck, my brain doesn't work. When we were studying them, I was like, yeah, why is it called CAG? It's because they have a long name. 4-1, by the way. About to be 4-3 or 4-2, sorry.
Another team 1 round, and that
Oh,
was a much
G2
better
Liquid
attack
game
on this
doesn't
side.
start for half an hour.
There was no chance give Melt
An opportunity, and they made sure that they could take it. Levy's holding around the back of the pillar, waiting for somebody to come for an ingress.
In Brazilian stream, they show us some videos and interviews. Yeah,
That
is pretty cool. KS's name was also Niklas? Yeah, but a K. N-I-C-K-L-A-S. Mine is N-I-C-L. And it's an almost meleeing Levi there. Double injure in the hallway. Rumble bumble, dude. And the Gatorada not able to bring Diffuser over because the Goni stands in his way, but they shut it down from behind, so it's a double. What a messy round. CAG ran all the way through both bomb sites because Diffuser was on armory or laundry stairs. They had to go all the way through the back end to the front. Escort Diffuser up, then plant.
They can go through is the back stairs and the E-box. That is the one place that wasn't really held off properly by any of the utility plays down. They went for it, they pushed through, suddenly out of nowhere the aggression.
Alemo hasn't activated, which is hurting Team 1. Yeah, I do feel like Alemo has a little bit of like too much value maybe. Like when he plays great, they do great. But when Alemo has like an average game, Team 1 looks pretty defeatable. I will say. It was same against BDS. Against BDS, he had like the most kills by like double, and like nobody else was really doing much on his team. So it does make a lot of sense, I guess. Garawada P with the client-sided window debris. I couldn't see anything on my screen. Neither could Levi, I assume. Yeah, lots of soft letters, yeah. If I had kids, would their primary language be English or Danish? English, for sure. There's no reason to learn Danish. Especially if you don't live in Denmark. Like, less than 6 million people in the world speak Danish. What's the point, you know? CAG looking good. Black replanting. Get her out on the plant cover. Does come off. 2v2 while there's retake. One guy is down. CAG is split up in 2 different areas of this map, leaving Black Ray in an impossible to plant position. Oh, he saw the leg! KDS! KDS just saw the leg of the injured Thatcher, didn't do anything about it. Gen Breach is not open. I would think Gatorada can go big window here. They can re-gather their forces. White Stairs also works. Kids Repel could be big. Meanwhile, Blackberry finds one. I don't know, last guy is on Neskin. And they have him sandwiched together. Now, if Arigata gets to the big window to cut off the rotate, Blackberry can then now plant. And that is exactly what's going to be happening. Neskin not playing this very well. Should have read this position, I would say. And now is left in a very tough position. He has to run across with no ammunition in his SMG-11 and gets taken down from the thatch in the big window. Had Neskin read this position a little bit better, the second he hears the rappel from Thatcher, that's when you sprint across the big window because you know that he's gonna go there and take that angle. So he played that pretty poorly, I would say. Holding the big window jump in doesn't make any sense because the Thatcher's never gonna jump in. He's simply just gonna stand far away outside, hold the deep angle, and make sure that Black Ray can then plant the bomb. I did say esports overall though, but if you take every single game and you average it out, you're better off being in North America, right? Even in League of Legends, yeah, NA is worse than EU, but they make twice the salary. They make more money. And to most players, money is more important than winning because odds are there's like gonna be some fucking Korean team, SKT1 or whatever, that's gonna beat your ass anyway, or Damwon, right? So you can either make 10k in Europe or 20k in NA. You'll lose to Damwon either way, it doesn't matter. So you might as well go NA, right? Get more deals, more branding, more exposure, more money. Live in a bigger, better house, private pool, air conditioning. Most of Europe doesn't even have air conditioning, you know? So like, for esports, you know, like NA is the hot zone. I personally like Europe, I do. My situation is that Riley, my girlfriend, is North American, so us living in Europe long term becomes a bit of a problem with her studies and future and education. She doesn't speak any other languages than English. So, for my case in particular, going to America has a personal... Oh, Anitune sprints with the greed kill. Oh my. I have a personal like agenda to gain from it. Am I into cars? Nope. I don't even have a license. I can't drive. My neighbor has a Ferrari. It's in the basement. I see it like every day when I take out the trash. I'll take a photo for you guys tomorrow. There's a black Ferrari in the basement. I don't know. I've never seen him drive it. It's just always there. Team 1 found momentum. 3 rounds to 6. What does Ryan want to study? Dental hygienist, I believe.
3 rounds. What they need to make up, and
need that extra cash to pay the hospital bills. Yeah, spicy. Maybe he stole it. Maybe. Would I go south or north NA? As long as my career in Siege is active, I would move to Vegas, because that's where all the pro league organizations are, it's where the pro league teams are, and it's where the studio is for Siege if I ever wanted to pursue an analyst or casting career. That way, by living in Vegas, I can do all those things comfortably without flying in or moving to Vegas later on. So as long as I'm in Siege, I would probably live in like Vegas, Henderson, or Texas. Yeah, Roskilde, Roskilde, Edale, even Frederikssund. It's not cheap. Copenhagen's even worse. Copenhagen being one of the most expensive places in the world. And with that being said, Alemo gets taken down by Girada. Anderson finds the head or the body of KDS. Levi looking to flank, does not find it. Bomb is down for Cyclops. This looks like to be the map ending round, and it is. Cyclops 7-3 are now above G2 in standings, and G2 will need to win the next match, or one of the 3 next matches, to stay in this tournament. And CAG still have 1 more match to go, I believe, today. They are facing... CAG is facing BDS after G2. So as great as CAG has been playing, they shouldn't be beating BDS unless BDS loses to them. Yeah.